Hello guys, Saurabh here. So in today's video, we'll discuss about IMDG code. Shipping companies across the world rely on international shipping maritime standards. In order to have uniformity in the standards, the United Nations formed the International Maritime Organization, the IMO. This organization creates and updates the various maritime shipping regulations to promote a safer maritime shipping practices. One of those primary regulations is the International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code. If you want to ship the dangerous goods safely, understanding the IMDG code is crucial. What is the IMDG code? The IMDG code lays out a collection of regulations to ensure the hazardous materials are transported via safe maritime practices. The IMDG code breaks down the dangerous goods into 9 categories to help companies better handle dangerous materials. The code provides procedures and policies for handling these goods depending on the class of material. Most companies that ship hazardous materials rely on the IMDG code for their success. Who is responsible for complying with the IMDG code? The IMDG code places responsibility on the shipper or another relevant authorities to comply with their regulation. When you look at the information related to the various material classifications, the IMDG code specifically states who should be responsible for the compliance. What is dangerous goods mean? A dangerous good is a substance that could present a hazard to a cargo, equipment, and workers. What are considered dangerous goods? When you review some of the dangerous goods included the IMDG categories, you might not think they seem that hazardous. For example, there are several household goods you might not think twice about, such as batteries, paints, and first aid kits. However, a dangerous good isn't defined by it being an everyday hazard. Rather, a dangerous good is defined as a substance that could present a hazard to cargo, equipment, and workers if mishandled. To avoid the consequences of mishandling materials, maritime shipping companies should be aware of the best practices of handling any dangerous goods they transport. IMDG code classes and divisions. When you are looking into implement IMDG code categories, it's crucial to understand the 9 IMDG code classes and the materials falling under them. You can then figure out the classes of materials you normally transport and follow the proper handling procedures. IMDG code classifies dangerous goods as follows. Class 1. Explosives. Any material or item listed in this explosive category is one that can quickly conflagrate or detonate due to the chemical reaction. You can find items like fireworks, airbags, inflators, and ammunitions listed under this category. Explosives are further broken down in 6 subdivisions. Class 2. Gases. If a substance is totally gaseous at standard atomic pressure at 20 degrees Celsius or has a vapor pressure of 300 kilopascal or higher at 50 degrees Celsius, it's classified as a gas. There are 3 subdivisions for gases, with items like fire extinguishers, natural gas, propane, gas cartridges, compressed gases, and aerosols are included. Class 3. Flammable liquids. A flammable liquid is classified as a liquid mixture of liquid or liquids containing solids with a flash point lower than or equal to 60 degrees to 65 degrees Celsius. Additionally, flammable liquids include liquids transported at or above their flash points. Primary examples of flammable liquids include paints, acetone, gasoline, kerosene, diesel fuels, alcohols, and adhesives. Class 4. Flammable solids. If a material is easily combustible under common transportation conditions, it's classified as flammable solid. This classifications also includes self-reactive substances that may go through solid desensitization explosions or exothermic reaction. There are 3 subdivisions in this class. Common items including sodium batteries, metal powders, activated carbon and matches. Class 5. Oxidized substances, organic peroxide. Organic peroxides are substances with chemical structure where organic radicals have replaced a single hydrogen atom or both hydrogen atoms. Oxidized substances including those that may cause or at least contribute to the combustion due to the possibility of chemical reactions causing oxygen yield. These hazardous materials including sodium nitrate, ammonium nitrate fertilizers, nitrates, chemical oxygenators and more. Class 6. Toxic substances and infectious substances. Infectious substances are defined as a material that have or are likely to have pathogens such as fungi, parasites and bacteria that can give animal or humans a disease. If a substance can cause harm when swallowed, inhaled or contacted, it's classified as a toxic substance. Common examples of these types of dangerous substances are arsenic, cyanide, chloroform, nicotine, acids, dyes, tear gas, biochemical waste, and biological cultures. Class 7. Radioactive material. If a material contains radionuclides where the activity, concentration, and the total activity exceeds predefined values, it's classified as radioactive material. Since these materials can be very harmful to human health, it's important to transport them correctly. You can find radioactive materials such as density gauges, depleting uranium, radioactive ores, and medical isotopes included in this classification. Class 8. Corrosives. Substances that degrade or disintegrate other materials with chemical actions via contact or classified as corrosives. When these substances aren't transported appropriately, they can damage living tissue and leak during transits. Some of the main types of corrosive included the batteries, flux, paints, dyes, and acids. Class 9. Miscellaneous hazardous materials. When a material don't fit under the previously mentioned categories, they are put under the miscellaneous hazardous materials banner. You can find the magnetized materials, genetically modified organisms, substances transported at high temperatures, and environmentally hazardous substances in this classification. Examples of these materials include fuel cell engines, first aid kit, life-saving appliances, lithium-ion batteries, and dry ice. The IMO regularly updates IMDG code regulations to provide users code and regulations that keep a company's shipping processes safe. How to use IMDG code. Companies can use the IMDG code and IMO guidance for several parts of the shipping processes. One of the primary uses of the IMDG code is helping crew members identifying the shipping names of dangerous goods and classify them appropriately. By identifying the IMDG code appropriately, crew members can be more aware of how to properly pack them. Additionally, the code helps workers identify the various kinds of placard, labels, and markings associated with the different dangerous goods they are transporting. The IMDG code can assist crew members as they unload and load cargo units with the dangerous goods inside them. ensuring they are handling goods safely. The code can also be applied in understanding what documentation crew members should use for each type of dangerous goods. The IMDG code can help guide inspection and alert workers how they should respond if the dangerous goods cause a fire on the ship. The code also allows crew members to create a safer stowing and loading plan. And finally, the IMDG code regularly utilized by the crew members for correctly declaring dangerous goods to the port authority. So this brings to end of our today's video. If you like this video, please subscribe, like and comment. And yes, don't forget to share amongst friends and family. See you in next video. Peace out.